You'll only see my chin and my head. So we're going to start out with a resolution to open this meeting again, formally moved by Mayor Debbie Laporte. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. And we're going to do the attendance. So as I call out your name, please say present. Winston Sundstrom. Carl Mayer. Brent Orr. Present. Alain Gagnon. Present. Maurice Beauregard. Present. Donald Gagnon. Present. John Armstrong. Present. Debbie Laporte. Serge Newberry. Kim Carty-Villeneuve. Gilles Dion. Lynn Cameron. Jim Gibson. Sandra Murray. Present. Doris Roger. Pauline LaRiviere. Karen Kelly. Present. David Rochon. Bernard Roy. Annie Vaillancourt. Travis Ladisser. Present. Jason Durant. Kim Lesage. Natasha Guimet. Present. Julian Gagnon. Not here tonight. Colleen Jones. And Cindy Phillips is absent, okay, on a vacation. Well deserved. So there we go. Are we on Facebook Live? Yep. Okay, wonderful. I'd like to welcome everyone in the Pontiac, MRC Pontiac, and beyond who might be watching our Facebook Live meeting tonight. We're delighted to have you present. And also just to remind that because of COVID procedures, we are mandated to record our sittings, and we're using Facebook Live. But even now that we are person to person, we're going to continue Facebook Live. This is also something that the people of Pontiac have asked for. I'd now like to make the declaration, Déclaration utilisation de la langue de son choix, declaration use of the language of your choice. Thanks. Je rappelle l'importance pour les membres du conseil régional et les autres participants à la séance de s'exprimer librement dans la langue de leur choix. Une ressource sur place sera disponible pour assurer une traduction aux besoins. I'd like to reiterate the importance for regional council members and other participants in the sitting to express themselves freely in the language of their choice. A resource on site will be available to ensure translation if necessary. So now, I have another statement to make, and this is known as La Déclaration de Décorum de la Préfète, or the Warden's Declaration of Decorum. And we're the first region in Canada to do this, and I've been asked for copies from many other municipalities. Nous sommes élus par les gens du Pontiac pour les représenter au mieux de nos capacités. Ils s'attendent à ce que nous menions nos réunions d'une manière professionnelle. J'écouterai très attentivement les débats et les discussions de cette réunion, et si j'entends des paroles négatives ou des critiques à l'égard de quelqu'un d'autre, j'arrêterai la réunion et demanderai à cette personne de s'excuser. Je vous remercie. We are elected by the people of the Pontiac to represent them to the best of our ability. They expect us to conduct our meetings in a professional and business-like manner. I will be listening very carefully to the debate and discussion in this meeting, and if I hear any words of negativity or criticism of anyone else, I will stop the meeting and ask that person to apologize. Thank you. And now we will go to the reading and adoption of the agenda. This is for the TNO meeting, where I am the mayor of the TNO, and the mayors in the room are actually the councillors of the TNO. Could I have a resolution to read and adopt the agenda? Moved by Councillor Kelly. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Are there any declarations of conflict of interest on this agenda? Seeing none, we will go on for another resolution. May I have a resolution to adopt the minutes of the last sitting of the TNO? Moved by Councillor Cameron. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Number 8, public question period. Are there any questions of people in the audience about the TNO? Well, I know we do have an E question, and so I will refer to that now. Yep. And this is submitted by Richard Armitage and from Shawville. And his question is, as a leaseholder in the TNO area, but not in ZEC, I received what seems to be a permit issued by ZEC, St. Patrice, for me to travel the Boisfranc Road to my cottage. I have a few concerns, and hopefully you will have answers. Did the TNO Council provide contact information of leaseholders to the ZEC? And what about future costs of permits and their purpose? And our manager of territory, Jason Durand, is going to ask a question. If you could use that mic, Jason. Thank you.
Hello. All right, folks. Sorry about that. Alors, bonsoir tout le monde. Good evening, everybody. So actually, I'm going to answer the questions a bit by the end, by the last question. So in other words, what's the future costs and permits and their purpose? So as you know, people that are resort leaseholders pay a tax to cover for road maintenance, a minimum of road maintenance on their strategic road. And when you cross a ZEC, as well, you have to pay access pass to cover for some maintenance from the ZEC. So these leaseholders that have to cross a ZEC, since they have to cross the ZEC, for the reason not to be charged twice, in other words, for road maintenance, that's why we have an agreement with the ZECs, allowing them to have a pass. So when they go through the ZEC, they don't have to pay for the ZEC fee to cross over their territory to have access to their resort lease. So this is the main purpose of this agreement. And yes, this is actually, it's a free of cost in this case. And finally, the first question actually, yes, we did provide it. It's actually the territory department that provided the names of those people, that have own leases on the other side who have to cross the ZEC. However, a confidentiality agreement was signed with all the ZECs to make sure that this information keeps, in other words, confidential. So this is pretty much the answer to the e-questions.
Well done. Thank you very much, Jason. And I'm sure that Mr. Armitage is watching. And so now we will go to accounts paid, and Annie Viancourt will ask Annie to come up, and we'll need a resolution after her report.
All right, so for the TNO for this month, we have some accounts receivables right now are at $79,482.07. And the bills that we paid total $84,956.90, which were road maintenance, also gas for vehicles, and shares to the MRC, and some money also on the garage.
Okay. Any questions of Annie? Seeing none, thank you very much, Annie. Now, item 11, we'll need a resolution. First of all, we'll vote on Annie Viancourt's report. Could I have someone move a resolution? Moved by Councillor Dion. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Number 11, Chemin de Lac Roulet, a demande de financement, a funding request. Jason Durand, do you want to introduce this, and we'll need a resolution, please?
Yes, hello again. As discussed in plenary, we know there were a washout emergency on the outfitter of that relay outfitter. So in other words, there's been a, how can I say, action plan to be able to restore so the people could either get away or get out of the outfitter's territory, get in and out, other villagers to go access to the resort lease. So we had to repair this washout, and we had an agreement to work together in partnership with the outfitter as well as the industry, forestry industry. So this is actually a resolution asking financing for about around $5,500. That would be our financing part for this washout. So asking resolution to go ahead with this.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of Jason? Okay, could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Councillor Mayor. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thanks, Jason. And it would appear that you have another item, number 12, Protocol d'entente restauration des traverses de cours d'eau, agreement water crossings restoration. Go ahead, Jason, the resolution.
Yes, again, this actually is good news. The MRC had filed for subsidies for a program for bridge and culvert restoration on our territory. We had six actually projects. 4 of them were accepted. However, we have to put around 10% of the cost of these infrastructure. So in other words, if everything is well done, we shall receive around $167,000 from the ministry for these infrastructure. However, in our case, for different details, it would be an average of around $38,000 that we must cover from the TNO fund to have these infrastructure done. So in other words, resolution to go ahead and to be in the protocol of agreement as well with the MFFP for this project.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions? Could I have someone move this? Moved by Councillor Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Number 13. This is also Jason. The subscription with Airmedic, the leaseholders in the TNO, excluding the ZEC resolution. And could you give a little background about it? I think it's very interesting.
Yes, for sure. Actually, it was some resort leaseholders put us to the idea of having maybe Airmedic. In other words, this is helicopter transportation if somebody gets hurt on our territory. So this was discussed as well with Julian as well in his department, and Association de Recoupement de Vigateurs as well. And we have the Association of Lac Right as well. So a lot of people were sort of put their input on the idea, and everybody was pretty much very willing to go ahead with this project. In other words, it would be at $15 approximately on the tax bill of the resort lease owners when they have their tax bill. This would cover for Airmedic in case it happens, like I say. And we even went with a survey, online survey, and unfortunately, the average of people involved in the survey was not as high as expected. However, though, it was almost unanimous to go ahead with this project. So I think that in case of saving lives and everything, for this minimal cost, I think we should go ahead and have a resolution to go ahead with this Airmedic project.
Thank you, Jason. And I just want to say, honestly, for $15 additional taxes, to know that when you have your family up into that area, if there was ever any emergency, you're going to have a much better chance of being rescued quickly and safely. And it takes a lot of pressure off our own volunteer and municipal people. Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Councillor Gagnon, Alain Gagnon. All those in favor? Thank you. Donnie, had you had a question, or you had wanted to move that? I'm sorry. A little bit difficult to see everybody in here, and I'll do a better job looking next time. So now we are completing our TNO meeting. Could I have a resolution to close the sitting? Moved by Councillor Newberry. All those in favor? Opposed? And that means we are closed the TNO meeting. So now we are going to open our monthly August council meeting. And could I have someone please by resolution move the open meeting? Moved by Mayor Brent, or haven't said your name for a few months. I'm sorry, Brent. All those in favor of opening the meeting? Opposed, and that carries. Now I'd like to just again point out that we are recording this sitting. It will be posted tomorrow on our MRC website by Colleen Jones, our communications person. And also we are live on Facebook Live. Welcome everyone who is watching. Number 3, the declaration of language of your choice. Je rappelle l'importance pour les membres du conseil régional et les autres participants à la séance de s'exprimer librement dans la langue de leur choix. Une ressource sur place sera disponible pour assurer une traduction au besoin. I'd like to reiterate the importance for regional council members and other participants in the sitting to express themselves freely in the language of their choice. A resource on site will be available to ensure translation if necessary. And the declaration, la déclaration de décorum de la préfète. Nous sommes élus par les gens de Pontiac pour les représenter au mieux de nos capacités. Ils s'attendent à ce que nous menions nos réunions d'une manière professionnelle. J'écouterai très attentivement les débats et les discussions de cette réunion et si j'entends des paroles négatives ou des critiques à l'égard de quelqu'un d'autre, j'arrêterai la réunion et demanderai à cette personne de s'excuser. Je vous remercie. We are elected by the people of the Pontiac to represent them to the best of our ability. They expect us to conduct our meetings in a professional and business-like manner. I will be listening very carefully to the debate and discussion in this meeting, and if I hear any words of negativity or criticism of anyone else, I will stop the meeting and ask that person to apologize. Thank you. Number 5, could I have a resolution for the reading and the adoption of the agenda? Moved by Mayor Johnny Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Are there any declarations of interest or conflict? I would like to declare a conflict of interest on an HR item. Mayor Sundstrom. The one that you've just had? Actually, we're going to be voting on that issue under 17.2 under HR others. Oh, pardon. The number changed. Okay, thank you. Any other conflicts of interest? Okay, thank you. Could I now, number 7, a resolution to adopt the minutes of the June 16th sitting, moved by Mayor David Rochon. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Number 7, a resolution, actually now we go to presentations. So our first presentation, we've invited Michel Laporte from the CISO, and he's going to be speaking about mental health and Lake Larrier initiative. And Michel, welcome. And if you'd like to come up and use this microphone here, I think they'll all hear you, and your presentation will be placed on the screen. So you can refer to it. You have that address.
Well, first of all, good evening, everybody. This is my first support people live in past 19, but so got a bit of the jitters to tell you the truth. So we'll go with that. Okay, I'm here to present what is the Scout Network in English. For lack of a better word, in French it's called an éclairage. Okay, Scout doesn't really explain what the role is and what we intend for those individuals to do. So I call it the éclairage initiative. Okay. The purpose of the éclairage network, basically, it is to increase adaptive capacity and resilience of individual community in the context of pandemic and post-pandemic. Basically, it's to work with the organization in order to ramp things up back after the pandemic so that those organizations can get back to normal activities also. One more thing I'd like. Okay, so basically, missing a hand here. So basically, the thing is we're going to be working with community organizations. We've already started working with our Golden Age clubs in and around the area. We've talked to the better part of them to see how they weathered the pandemic, to see also what are their plans going forward, what is their situation, and so on. That is the group that we started with, and basically cooperation also with the RAs and so on. So like I said, the objective is to restart those organizations and establish a sustainable network of éclairage scouts for psychological health. Okay, basically these éclairage, I don't know if you've heard before of the programme prévention du suicide des sentinelles. Okay, they're gatekeepers. They're people that are trained in order and are out there doing their jobs or participating in activities, and they have that special training to have a special ear, I will say it this way, special ear for people that are severely depressed or thinking of suicide, and basically show signs of reclusion, depression, negativism. Anyway, so we've got a number of them of Sentinel in the community, and they go about doing their daily work, their daily activities. A number of them are through our local firemen, first responders. A lot of them have had that training. So basically, with the éclairage, it is not necessarily in that scope, but it is also to have people in those activities, in those organizations that are on the lookout for people that are not really readapting to after the pandemic, that they're having problem getting out more, that they're having more problems, or they're carrying along more problems than they did before. Okay, and usually also people on the lookout also for people that aren't necessary, that know the services, that don't necessarily know what exists out there. So that is one of the basics of it. Now, basic principles, okay? Strengthen community resilience and the social fabric. So basically that means that to neighbor looking out for neighbor. That's what it means. Increase capacity of community to identify a person in distress and to other initial and offer initial support. That means that, if, for example, if you're going out to a fish fry supper and you see somebody that is usually very cheery and you've not seen in a while, but you notice that things don't seem to be going right for that individual, well, a éclairant has the training to ask the questions if things are going, and usually it gives you that extra piece of confidence to ask a couple of questions of interest for that individual. And surprisingly enough, oftentimes those individuals will open up a bit because it's peer to peer, and that can lead to that éclaireur or that scout giving information as to services available or even tips that are available through the internet or whatever, and so on. So basically, that's what we're aiming to do, having more eyes and ears out there for people that aren't necessarily already in the system also. Establish and consolidate a culture of cooperation at all levels. Okay, that means also with you will see next slide. The community organizations and the CISO are involved in that. We also aim to re-establish the cooperation between community organizations that was there prior to the COVID, because fact is a lot of those organizations have been pretty much working by themselves in the past year and a half, 2 years. So we wish to also promote that again, that same cooperation that makes the community and the services in the Pontiac what it is. Okay, and also the last one is to build on what exists. We don't necessarily want to create new structures, new RAs, new whatever. We want to work with what's available and what is out there. So the role of the éclaireur, I pretty much basically summed it up, okay? To recognize individuals, to establish a contact, and to encourage and direct individuals towards the appropriate help or services. And basically also who can become an éclaireur. So basically, we're looking for individuals who already are active in their community, either by the work they do, by the volunteering that they do, okay? People that are concerned with the well-being of others, and people that are engaged in a voluntary basis to gain just a bit more knowledge and to be able to support the individuals. And when I say gain just a bit more knowledge, there's a few tricks in there, but also there is in the training that will be provided a complete section on what are the local services and how to access them. Now, the relay team, because those éclaireurs will be backed by what we call a relay team that is composed of community organizations and people from the CISO, okay? We're working this out also as we move forward with the éclaireurs. Like I said, community organizations have already been met. They're already very interested in how should I say, working with people in the community, that the extra eyes, extra ears, in order to work to identify, okay, to identify people prior to them being too far along during either their difficult situation without resources or whatever. So to preemptive or preventive, work preventively with them. Train, yeah. So basically, the rest of what is up there, to listening to the éclaireur, to the issues that challenges in the community. Basically, also what the relay team is, it's there to basically give support to the éclaireur, also, but to listen carefully as to basically what they bring forward situation-wise, and also to work on finding the correct answers, resources, or whatever to identify that help for that individual or that situation. Also, okay, contribute to the prevention and promotion of psychological health, basically by helping to strengthen community mobilization and citizen participation. Okay, basically, when we talk about positive mental health, it is a fairly simple, very complicated when you start reading all of the texts, but basically it's fairly simple. If you take, for example, a person in senior citizen in Port Colage or whatever that has a number of issues going on, maybe daughter has problems, whatever, okay, that has their load of things, problems. Now, if they have a very active, for example, senior club that has suffered, such as we used to know, play cards and such, there are options out there for that individual to go play cards for a couple of hours, unload, talk to other people, maybe even share some of their problems, maybe even get a bit of advice, reload a bit of the batteries, go home and be able to cope a bit longer with their situation. So basically, those are all situations, those are all occasions to increase coping skills, and the coping skills is what brings resilience. So basically, it's a fairly simple process because either that or people are stuck at home with their problems. It's as simple as that when it comes to just the basic of having opportunities for positive mental health, means positive opportunities to, how should I say, relax, opportunities for les loisirs, opportunities to, opportunities to just let go. That's about it.
Thank you very much, Michelle. This was very important. And with your permission, I'll send the presentation to each of the Director Generals and the municipalities so that the councils can be aware of it.
Yeah, most of you within the next few months, you will hear from me, because as we work to develop community to community, I think Debbie and Jill already started working with them, okay, on some situations in Fort College. But this being said, as we move forward from town to town in order to work with the community organizations that are there, we will involve council for sure. For example, right now, I have ongoing discussions with a number of organizations in Shawville to see, to round those organizations up for the work that we can do to recruit Éclairage. And we'll be speaking to the mayors, same as for Chapeau. Some groundwork has been done, so you'll be hearing from me or from Tonya within the next couple of months. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This has been very important, especially having endured COVID.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, good. Is that open to the public, Sandra? Yes, okay, in Shawville at the United Church, September 11th. Okay, thank you. Do you want to say something, Serge? Have a good, yeah. Have good years. Thank you. And now I'd like to ask Mr. John Petty to come up. And we always look forward to hearing from John because it's that time, the Pontiac Terry Fox Run. John? Going right up to the front. Okay.
Okay, I'm just hoping that Travis will allow me to push him around a little bit. I put everything in front of me, I won't lose anything, and Miss Stoller will figure it out. Anyway, number one.
You're John.
Marilyn, can you hear me back there?
John?
Yes.
Here, it's
I
better
don't
if
want
you,
that.
well, you know what? It's a big room and there's an air conditioner and you may think we can all hear you, but we're all getting a little hard of hearing. So can you please use it?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
For
Got it?
you,
Thank you.
I guess that means I can't wander the room, so you don't have to worry about me bumping into you. But starting out, I just want to thank the MRC for allowing my friend Rick Fallon and myself to come every year and talk about the Terry Fox Run. This year, we're talking about, obviously, the 2021 Terry Fox Run. We know the MRC always gives us great support, and we have high expectations this year also of the support. We know you won't fail us. And so again, my presentation is gonna last about 10 minutes or less. Marilyn's got me on timer down there, so here we go. This year, really excited to be here. And I think it's not only because of the passion that we have for the Terry Fox Run, it's because of the possible return to somewhat of a normalcy in everything we do. It's exciting to see it coming. We may never have another wave coming, but we're gonna that one also. We all know that. You all know I'm here to talk about the Terry Fox Run. It's a special year for us because it is our 40th year that Rick Fallon and I and my deceased wife have been putting this on. Terry started running in 1980 in his Marathon of Hope. We started the year after, 1981, at Pontiac High School. About a month ago, we had really good news. The provincial director called me and he said, John, he said, where do you usually have your Terry Fox Run? I said, at Pontiac High School. We've been doing it for years. I got an in with the principal. I worked there for 35 years. He said, go for it. Looks good. So as of July this year, we're okay to go at Pontiac High School. We've been told, John, try to keep your organization outside, try to set up a tent and canopy, encourage people to keep their groups small, all the safety precautions that we follow in COVID. I said, yeah, we can do that. It's exciting. We have an option this year. Last year, we did not have an option. Our Terry Fox Run was totally virtual. It was successful due to the people that we had to help us. As Terry Fox said, you know, individually I can do a lot, but together, we can do everything. So the normalcies are those, and they're exciting for us because we now, with local health permission closer to the event, maybe in September sometime after Labor Day, we're hoping the local health authorities will tell us, give it a go, where we need their blessing. And after Labor Day, I will write an article. There will be something in the Equity, something in the Journal, and we will try to update you on what is happening, because we know you've already picked up your pen and pencil and circled that date, Sunday, September 19th. You haven't done so already, I'm coming to you, baby. You better get it down. So, exciting. That's the first part of it. That's the actual Terry Fox Day, Sunday, September 19th. Forgot I could take this off.
A little easier.
The second part is something that's ongoing now. And we're even more excited about this. We've been doing this for 40 years. We're proud of that. Don't know about another 40, but we'll take the 40 we got. Anyway, we're doing human-powered activity for 40 days. It started August the 9th. Get those dates down, please. And it goes to Sunday, September 19th, which is the official Terry Fox Day, a month tomorrow. We are asking people in the Pontiac is a vast community. We're asking people in the Pontiac, the mayors in the Pontiac, we're asking them to find people in their community who are active, who run, bike, canoe, kayak, swim, and golf. Winston Sundstrom, you're not getting me this year. Golf, anything human powered. We're asking you to keep track of that during these days, and we're asking you to forward it to us. Got your pen handy? Here's the link, please. Even if you are not doing it yourself, you may have somebody in your community who you know bikes or runs and is as crazy as some of us are. It's called the Pontiac Try Like Terry at outlet.com. At the risk of offending you, I will spell it. Pontiac, P-O-N-T-I-A-C. Try Like Terry, Terry with a double R-Y, at outlet, outlet.com. You take track of your mileage. On Friday or Saturday of every week, you send it in to this particular link, and Rick Fallon and myself will pick it up. We will have it in the paper every week. I did have the equity here with me today, but I lost it somehow. Trouble keeping your act together as you get older. But in the equity today, it shows how far we have gone. Last year, we passed Terry Fox's run in Thunder Bay. This year, we are attempting to get right across Canada. But to do that, we need people, we need your help. I got a couple of feel-good stories for you. I may have mentioned one before, but they're worth repeating. The first chap I'm going to talk about is a Renfrew resident. He's a marathon runner. He's an amputee like Terry Fox. He's a farmer. He lost his leg in a farming accident. He's 57 years old. He's gung-ho to give back to his community. What he does, and we've had him at Pontiac High School, we've had him at the elementary school. He comes and gives presentations. The kids are enthralled. They're excited to watch him try on his 5 or 6 different legs. Terry only had one. This guy with the technology, he's got 6 or 7, depending on the activity he's doing. The kids watched him run around the gym, and they were so excited, and it sort of bridged the gap a little bit. He's an inspiration to Rick and I, and he's in it again this year. He slowed down a little bit to 10 or 15 kilometers a day, but baby, I'll take that anytime. The other one, some people in this room will know. I talked to her last night on the telephone. Her name is Kathy Davis. Kathy Davis grew up in Shawville. Kathy Davis, her mother and dad were Hiram and Margaret Davis. They supported us every year from 1981 that we had our first Terry Fox run in Pontiac High School. Kathy did that every year. When her little girl was born, she'd roller stroller around the course and never missed a year. A couple of years ago, I got a call. John, I got breast cancer. I can't make it this year. I can't make it. She said, I'm going to make it, but I can't make it this year. I said, great. Kathy, just stay in touch. She's in Carlton Place. She used to, after her family grew up, she'd come over from Carlton Place and do it. I called her last night and she said, well, for the last year, I've been getting really good news. She said, I'm still on treatments, but I'm getting very close to my last one. She said, anything. I said, may I use your name and tell your story? She said, John, if I can help one person in this room or one person in this room can pass it on, sure, go for it. Tom McIntyre, his strength is he's got a disability. He goes and sees other people with disabilities. He shows them that things can be done. So pretty inspirational. I'm winding up pretty soon. Yep. Yep. Here's our hopes and expectations from the mayor's. Number one, we want you to support us on September 19th. Come and cross the starting line. You don't have to go 10 kilometers. You can just go up with a donation. We want to keep Terry's dream alive, finding a cure for cancer. We need people to do that. The second way you can help us is from August 19th to August 9th to September 19th, get involved. Take charge of this event or get somebody in your community who can champion it. It's important. We know it is, so let's do it. The third way is I have a clipboard that I'm going to begin to pass around this room. And when you can pass it on to the next person when it comes to you, but if you want to give a donation personally, you can do so. And eventually it will go to Marilyn. Marilyn, stand up down there. Please return it to her. She looks after the money, I guess. Thank you for your time. I'm going to come back next year. I'm hoping I'm going to get invited, but let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John. You are an inspiration to us. And thank you every year for coming and getting us revved up. And if you'd like, you can start the clipboard right here at this table.
Okay,
and then we'll pass it around.
okay,
Thank you.
that's awesome.
Okay, that completes those presentations. I have my warden's report, which I can do quickly. And then we'll go to announcements by the mayors, each municipality. So our last council meeting was in June, because in July we did not have one. So I was at the AGA for Carrefour Jeunesse, the AGA for CEGEP, a pandemic meeting, Houblon Grand Calumet, a meeting with Ministre André Laforêt, Multi-Resource Committee, an AGA for l'Agence des Fonds Privés, Forêts Privées de l'Outaouais, the MSP CISO on deconfinement, a tournée régionale consultation on strategy for national urbanism and management of territory, the CPO, which is where we meet with the other regions of the Outaouais on June 28th, an obstetrics meeting for the Pontiac Hospital to try to get that reopened, Boeuf Pontiac AGA, the Autonome AGA, a human resource meeting, another report by André Laforêt, Minister of Municipal Affairs, Deborah Castleman, a meeting, project FTTH, investment committee. I attended a vigil for the residential schools that was held at Esprit in Mansfield. The Bissy Born in Campbell's Bay, which was the Carrefour Jeunesse and other partners were there to open one of those bike repair stations that the MRC has supported. A meeting with Bruno Saint-Cyr from Davidson Mill and Andre Fortin. A meeting with Minister Eric Girard, who's the acting Economic Development Minister. GMR committee with Terry. Went to the Stone School art exhibit in Portage. Meeting with Mr. Govro with Centre Tree. Meeting with Courtney Robertson, an interview. Meeting about the strategic plan for the MRC. I attended the public meeting, as some of you did, in Shawville for the Western Quebecers on Bill 96. I went to a fun day and at New Hope Church in Shawville, the investment committee, plenary, a meeting about Pontiac synergies. Is that someone's car? Okay. Is that yours, Ellen? Okay. And another interesting opportunity, I had a chance on Saturday to go and clean up the Javalco mill. And the Javalco mill has been shown to a few prospective buyers, and Cindy Phillips was with us as well on Monday. And I just think that any mill looks better if it's been cleaned up. And so that completes my report. That's just for information. Now we're going to go down our list of mayors. And I guess we can't each talk in the microphone, but if you have something to report, come up to the microphone. Otherwise, we know that all the activities are very limited, because of COVID and everything else. So we'll just start, I guess I'll just look at the Mayor of Bristol, Brentor. Anything to report? Okay. Mayor Alain Gagnon, Bryson.
Golf tournament, September 11th.
Committee of Revitalization for Bryson. Very good. Okay, thank you. Mayor Morris Beauregard.
Saturday, August 28th. Race.
Okay, very good. Mayor John Armstrong from Clarendon.
Every Thursday, and cars, but get the wind. Also another summer, really, all that get back. I would
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll go to Mayor David Rochon from Waltham. Anything to report? Okay, Mayor Jim Gibson from Rapide. Okay, Mayor Carl Mayer from Elena Kaywood. Mayor Lynn Cameron from Portage. Yes. Okay, could you speak a bit into the microphone, Lynn, and tell us what Manoir Merrill is?
It is an independent facility, and I believe it's both 8 rooms or apartments.
And this is for retired people or seniors?
Yes.
Excellent. And the building used to be the banquet hall up in Portage?
Auberge Mont Blanc.
Auberge Mont Blanc. Wonderful. That's really good news. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll go to Mayor Karen Kelly from Thorne. Anything to report? No. Mayor Kim, or pardon me, Pro Warden Carte Villeneuve. Kim?
On Saturday, August 28th, we will be having a free movie night for the community, which will be hosting 2 movies, and it will be starting at 7:00 p.m., which will be at the RA Center in Otter Lake. And also, all during the summer, we had a summer student, and the summer student was organizing activities for the youth throughout the summer, so which was a great success. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Mayor Sandra Murray from Shawville.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend is the Big Shawville Fair. We missed it last year, but it's a goal for this year. Also, we're having a mental health day with fun activities on September 11th at the Anglican Church.
Thank you. Mayor Serge Newberry from Calumet. Nothing to report at this point. Okay. Mayor Debbie Laporte from Fort Collonge. Nothing to report. Okay. Mayor Gilles Dion, Mansfield.
There will be a poker run on the water again on 28th of August.
On the Collonge River?
No, on the Ottawa River.
Okay, good. Very good. Thank you. And Mayor Winston Sundstrom from Little Calumet.
Yes, the Chapeau Agricultural Society has a farmer's market every Thursday afternoon from 2 to 7. Lots of goodies get there.
Okay, thank you very much. And Mayor Colleen LaRiviere from nothing to report at this point at Litchfield. Okay, I think. Oh, and I'm sorry. We have 2 other mayors. First of all, Mayor Doris Ranger from Sheenborough. Anything to report? Okay. Mayor Donnie Gagnon, anything to report? How about just a quick report on the waterway? Anything to report on how it's being used? Okay, nothing at the moment. Okay, thank you very much. That's great. So now we will go on in our agenda to the public question period. Are there any questions of people in the public? Okay, we have some questions from the public, quite a few of them, so we'll just go through those. Thank you. So the first question is from Amy Thrifty, and it is for the Regional Council of Mayors. She's from Pontiac, and it says, when will we have council meetings at a municipal level again that constituents can attend, follow along with, ask questions, receive information? So from what I understand, many of our municipal councils have started to meet in person. And is everyone inviting the public at this point? Anyone not? Okay, that's great. So that's good news. And I'm sure Amy will be happy to hear that. It's been a long time where we couldn't have public meetings. Number 2, this question is from Linda Lafortune from Otter Lake. Would council declare September 30th as Orange Shirt Day and display a small orange shirt on the exterior of municipal buildings in recognition of the children who died in residential schools or were taken during the 60s scoop? And she refers to a website about Orange Shirt Day. And so when we saw this last week, the Council of Mayors have embraced an idea. And tonight we have with us members of the Pontiac Native community. And I would like to introduce them and ask all of them to come up, please. I'd like Riche Levesque, Steve Levesque, Paul Crate, Brady Lacroix, Madeline Aroux, and Jeanette Lacaille. And just to answer, Linda, yes, we are going to observe this. And if some of you are not aware, this organization have built a beautiful healing garden in Mansfield. And thanks to the Mansfield Council, they were able to obtain land. And it's just beautiful. It's on Chemin de la Chute. And I went by the garden and saw an orange t-shirt. And so I asked the president, Mr. Richer Levesque, to look after providing us with shirts. But first, Richer is going to say a few words about the importance of observing September 30th as Truth and Reconciliation Day. And as you know, the Prime Minister has declared it a national holiday. Go ahead, Richer, and you can talk a bit about your garden.
Well, I'll talk in French a little bit. I got ready.
That's okay, speak in French, yes.
I got a hard time. No, it's a beautiful garden that we built. And we like to thank the municipality of Mansfield and the mayor, the councillor for what they did for us. We're very proud of that. And tonight, you two elders going to pass a t-shirt for you for the 30th of September to put on your office outside in the door to remember the residence school and the young children that we lost. And I invite everybody on the 11th of September to come to the opening of the Healing Garden.
So the 11th of September at 1 o'clock
Yeah.
is the opening of the Healing Garden. Everyone is welcome.
Yes.
But these shirts are beautiful. It's important that we all have the same shirt. And Bernard Waugh, Madeline, Bernard Waugh will receive one for the MRC. There's a one for this is what they look like. Every child matters. And so this will have the same shirt for every municipality, and Bernard wants to put that at the MRC. And they very kindly brought everyone a keychain also of a orange t-shirt. So thank you very much. I'm really delighted that the MRC Pontiac will be showing full support for this.
Thank you, and we're very proud of that.
Thank you very much. And thank you for a lady in Fort Collonge made these shirts.
Yes.
And made them available at a very good price. Thank you very much to her. And we have a check right here.
Miigwech. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the Algonquin Nation, whose traditional unceded territory we're gathered upon today. I'd especially like to recognize the community of Kitigan-Zibi, Pikwak, Kitigan, B9 Algonquin. The garden itself, the plans began quite some time ago, before there was a plan. And I have to take an opportunity to recognize Heritage Canada, the government of Canada, as well as our local member of parliament, obligated to do so. And I was very grateful to receive a grant, create a space that honors the legacy of survivors of residential schools. When they announced that we, as a community, were able to build this park, this garden, it brought about a challenge. It was the end of October. We had to the end of the fiscal to build a garden in many feet of snow. So the challenge for us was, how is this going to happen? And shortly thereafter, the pandemic occurred. So we were challenged by weather, but also challenged by the pandemic. And borders began to close, suppliers began to, garden centers began to close. So it was quite a challenge. So I really have to extend Miigwech, that's thank you, or merci, in the language to some of our members here on the board that took the lead when I was unable to be here to be a part of the garden. So I have some thank yous I would like to share today. I'd like to thank Steve Levesque, Chez Levesque, and Paul Clay. They spent a lot of time really spearheading the garden in our absence and worked safely in the pandemic to do so. And I really appreciate that. That was the bubble of the garden itself. There are also other people, Mike Levesque, Pat Bertrand, local entrepreneurs. Harvey Levesque built that beautiful pergola. Natalie Gagnon from Otter Lake, representative here from Otter Lake. She donated some plants to the garden, which was a very nice gesture on behalf of her and her grandson. Nicola, the carver from Shava, did some great carvings for us. As well, the two gentlemen by the name of Michelle and Claude did a lot of work for us. Sherry Fultonham and her parents did a lot of the garden planning for the project, so I was very grateful for their help. Roberta de la Peca is the artist. She is married to a survivor of the Westminster School, so you'll see some art within the garden that was done by her. Also, Home Depot donated a lot of plants, so I appreciate that. Numerous donors as part of the GoFundMe. I was very shocked by the community support and donations that came from all over. Artists throughout the Pontiac and Golden Lake region, Beau Arts, a whole greenhouse here, as well as Madeleine, Jeanette, Lise, Campbell Levesque, the municipality of Mansfield, Gilles and council, and were very cooperative. So I'm very grateful for that, for the initiative. I'm humbled to be here before you today to talk a little bit about it and honor the survivors. It's I think it's a really important thing to understand that as Canadians and people with the Pontiac, reconciliation is that's on us to recognize the legacy, and it's really important for me to understand the level of respect that I have for the community against Zubi, as well as the 9 other Algonquin nations. I honor them in what we accomplished and what we did. It was for the Anishinaabe people, and as well as the community as a whole. The last few months were very challenging as a nation and as people. I don't think that a person in Canada that can say it hasn't affected them in some way emotionally. And this was the one bright spot during that difficult time, was that we had a place to apply our energy and our sorrow and work to heal. So with that being said, for everyone's time today.
And Chimigwech Brady, thank you. And
I want to say that there's 2 healing gardens, one in Manitoba and one here in Manitoba. Very proud of that.
are those the only ones in Canada? Is that what you're saying?
Second.
So this is the second one in Canada. Wonderful. Well, Chimigwech, and thank you so much for being here tonight. And we will all display the orange shirts, and we would encourage everyone else who's listening on Facebook Live or even in the media to encourage people in the Pontiac, even if they don't have an orange t-shirt, just something orange, it will have to carry the same message. And I'm sure if anyone wanted a t-shirt, they could get in touch with the Pontiac Native community through Richer Levesque. Okay, thank you. So we'll go back to the e-questions, and the next one is question number 3 from Gabriel Lance. And his question from Bryson. Bonjour, ma question concerne les équipements de la voie navigable. Les quais installés à Desjardins-de-Ville, Chapeau, Portage de Fort et Bryson sont tous accompagnés d'une toilette sèche pour les plaisanciers sauf Bryson qui semble l'avoir enlevée l'année dernière. Pouvez la réinstaller pour les besoins des passanciers? Merci. And our engineer, Kim Lesage, is going to answer. Kim? Come to the mic, Kim. Thank you, please.
So I'll repeat the question in English and then I'll answer in French and English. The question was that there are some portable outhouses at some of the waterway docks. So at the Jardinville Chapeau, there used to be one in Bryson and Portage Spa. And the question is, if the one that is no longer in Bryson belongs to the waterway, that they return to the waterway dock in Bryson. Alors, la réponse, c'est que nous sommes en train de voir si les salles de bain appartiennent à la voie navigable ou à la municipalité. Alors, on va donner une réponse à ça dans le futur. So, we are looking into if the outhouses belong to the MRC, the waterway, or the municipality, and we'll get back to the council. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks so much, Kim. Question 4. For Mayor Gilles, well, it's directed at Mansfield, and the question is from Patrick Gayette from Port Colunge. Question for Mayor Dion. Mayor Dion, have the taxes for the Davidson sawmill been paid in full? Assuming the taxes, if they were not paid, how much is owed and how many years of unpaid taxes? What action did the municipality take to recuperate the unpaid taxes? And so Mayor Gilles Dion has agreed to answer the question. Do you want to just go to the mic, Gilles? Oh, you got it. Thanks.
So the question was asked in English, so I'm going to answer in English. So the municipality has secured the sums that are owed by obtaining several judgments that have also been registered. So at this point, we are working with the Quebec government representatives and other third parties to attempt to restart the operation of the mill. So that's all I can say for this, because there's lots of it is confidential, like amounts. But if there's any other questions, I invite Mr. Gayette to ask them at the municipal level.
At the municipal level.
Yeah.
Well, I admire you for answering tonight, Mayor Dion, because you could have simply said, come to our municipal council. So it was really straightforward of you. Thank you very much. And that was a good answer. So we'll now go on to question number 6, which is also from Patrick Gayette in Port Colunge. And it's to the Council of Mayors. A new strategic 2020-2030 plan for the MRC Pontiac has been approved. I would appreciate a review of the Vision 2010-2020 plan. What priorities of Vision 2010-2020 was implemented in your municipality? What was the benefit to your municipality and how many jobs did it produce in our municipality? So the answer is that this information is actually going to be sent to him by email, because we have already reported on this through our strategic visioning meetings. And I'm told also that Cindy Phillips, our Directress of Economic Development, is also going to probably present something at a future date, because it's a good question. Next is question number 7 from Pat Gayette. Warden Toller, and to each individual mayor, are you for or against the COVID passport? Now, rather than going around to each of you, perhaps I could just ask for a show of hands, and I'm going to answer first and say that I am in favor of it, because I think that to encourage people to be vaccinated, we do need something like this. I don't think the lottery was working. And also, having spoken with Andre Fortin, he and I are both in agreement with one thing, that rather than closing businesses again, which is so difficult for businesses to recover when that happens, when there is some standard required by people, businesses will not need to be closed. The question is, how will all of this be administrated? And it is going to take some time. And so more about that later. Are there any, because I do need to pose a question to the mayors, generally, are you in favor of the passport from what you know of it? Is there anyone that is opposed to it? Okay, so we have all 18 mayors present. Everybody seems to be in agreement. And we know too that we're not out of COVID. We have this Delta virus and we're very concerned about what is coming in the fall. And we do know that Pontiac as a region was a bit behind the rest of the Outaouais. Now I know that Otter Lake had a mobile clinic yesterday and I'm trying to get your numbers, Kim, but anyways, I'm confident that the Pontiac will be reaching the 75% that is hoped and expected. Question number 8 from Amy Thrifty. What does the council propose to do about the healthcare services not being offered in English? For example, the Lotus Medical Clinic's website only in French, or there not being a requirement for English-speaking staff at the hospitals for services. What do you propose English-speaking taxpayers do in these cases? Well, my personal experience has been that bilingual services are available. And so I have actually tried to contact Genevieve Cote, and I didn't get an answer back in time to present tonight. So I will take it upon myself to speak, and I also send a message to Andre. So I will, if you are listening, Amy, I will be in touch with you to give you more information, and I'm going to bring your concerns to the attention of the hospital. And finally, question number 9, Jason Durand has offered to answer it. It's from Davin Dawsett, president of, he's from Waltham. Question, the Green Lake and Black River Cottagers Association in Waltham asks that we may gain land access rights to a small 5 to 7 acres of Crown land in order to build a community gathering location. The project would be developed through the new Region and Royalty Fund. The parcel we request would be a portion of 7798-38-9196-0-000-0000 or other. And I'm also going to give Mayor David Rochon a chance to say something if he'd like to, but shall we start with Jason, Dave?
Yeah.
It's the first you've heard of it. You know what, I'm going to give you this, and you go ahead, please, Jason Durant.
Yeah, sure. Well, actually, I did look out this number of for the lot, and due to the fact that this parcel is not on MRC TPIs, this request should actually be addressed directly to the Ministry of Energy and National Resources. So in this case, I think it would be better for this group to do the demand directly to the ministry, since it's not on our TPI.
Because it's Crown land,
Yes,
and that
it's Crown
is
land, but not TPI.
very good. Okay, thanks so much. And Mayor Rochon, I've just given him a copy of the question, so perhaps he and his council will be in touch with that cottage association. Thank you. All right, so now we have finished our public questions and our e-questions. Coronavirus follow-up, I'll just be very brief and say that we need to be vigilant. We are keeping an eye on a daily basis for the Outaouais and in particular the Pontiac. We've been working on a strategy as a group of mayors to, and myself, to work with the CISO and try to get better communication before these mobile clinics arrive, because that was one complaint. We weren't letting people know. And I do believe they plan to be stationed at the Shawville Fair, and they're looking for any gatherings or events that they might be able to be there vaccinating. And Bernard, do you have anything you want to add just about the return to work at the MRC?
But maybe I can just mention that the MRC is open. Majority of our employees are now at the MRC, but we are still vigilant, and if there's any change for the access at the MRC, let me know. But as far as we are now open, every services you can come at the MRC and they'll answer. Bernard, you still have to make an appointment or it is facultative. You can call, ask for an appointment. You can directly come to MRC for the license, at the license. You know, the advantage with the appointment is that you can plan how many persons comes at the same moment. So we are in favor of that, but there's no control. You can come when you're available, at the hour you prefer, with or without appointment. So, on fait les corrections sur le web, l'information, les reliés.
Alain?
Just a technical point, last priority, if you have an appointment.
No, it's not full of people.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's no issue about who come first or not. It's we manage it very easy at the moment. If there's some problem,
Always the end of the month.
yeah, but up to now, it's under control.
And unintentionally, I missed one other question from Pat Guyette, and this is what the question was. Warden Toller, at the start of your term, you indicated 11 priorities for your administration. I would appreciate a review of each priority, the accomplishment, the failure, an honest and transparent assessment of the action taken. Now, I already did report on this, and it was in the media, it was in the Equity and Journals. I held like a little press conference maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And I just want to reiterate, these were not the priorities of this council. These were my personal priorities as the newly elected warden. And I heard these from the people that I knocked on the doors of in 2017. So the 11 priorities, I'm not going to report now because I think at this point we've had a long meeting, but I will be releasing a report because there have been some new developments since the last time. And so I will, not only will Pat hear, everyone will hear. Now we go to 14, finances. Annie Vaillancourt, and we'll need a resolution after this. Thanks to Annie.
There you go. Okay, so for the MRC, for the finance for the last, 2 months, because there was no meeting in June. So we passed the halfway mark of the year, and everything seems on par so far with the budget. We have accounts receivables for $1,419,175.87, which as usual includes all of the economic development loans. The list of accounts, all the bills to be paid are a total of $122,601.93. And the bills that were paid since June, so 2 months worth, total $606,190.66. And there were no traveling expenses for council.
Are there any questions on that financial report? Okay, seeing none, thank you very much, Annie. Great job. 15, general administration. HR. Oh, resolution. Would you like to move the resolution? Mayor Gagnon, Alain Gagnon, thanks for reminding me. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you. Now we go to general administration, HR 15.1.1. The nomination of, or the appointment of an Assistant Director of Economic Development, a resolution in Ottawa.
Yeah, the call for applications between March and the end of April for the to fill the position of Assistant Director of Economic Development Department. We received some application, and they were reviewed by a selection committee, which subsequently deemed it advisable in interview candidates it deemed best suited to the needs of the and consequently proposed to hire Mr. David Sear as new Assistant Director of Economic Development.
Very good. Any questions? So could I have a resolution? Put your hand up. Oh, David Sear, C-Y-R. Could I have someone move a resolution moved by Mayor Kelly? All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Now we come to 15.1.2 other, and there's a resolution that needs to be voted on. And I declared a conflict, and I believe Mayor LaRiviere as well. So should we leave the room? That what need? Okay, we can stay, but we will not be voting. Okay, so Winston? Yes, we will make sure that the minutes reflect what we moved before. Mayor Sundstrom, we will mention now that for this item, we did have a motion to go in camera and come out of camera and go back into public.
Oh, if I may.
No, it can't be during TNO. It was during our public, our council. But it was held early before TNO because of our technology and Facebook Live and the concern of confidentiality. It was an irregular situation, but I think Mayor Sundstrom is correct. It should be included as an in-camera for where the item is in our regular council meeting. Okay. Is that all right with you, Travis? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So this would be, I guess, a recorded vote. That's how we usually vote. So just go down the list, and as I call your name, say either yes or no. Okay, Bernard will read the motion.
Just to be sure, it reflects what was discussed. So we have a resolution here saying that it was moved by and resolved. Yeah, okay. It was moved by and resolved that an agreement be reached with respect to an outstanding HR file in accordance with information shared with the mayor regarding said. That's what as a draft proposition, draft resolution.
Mayor Sundstrom.
It is moved by and resolved that an agreement be reached with respect to an outstanding HR file in accordance with the information shared with the mayors regarding said agreement. Was it clear? Okay.
Yeah, I'm using a different sheet, so we're going to start with Elena Haywood, Mayor. Yes, who would like to? Mayor David Rochon. Okay, thank you. He is moving the resolution. So Mayor from Elena Haywood. Mayor Brent Orr from Bristol. Mayor Alain Gagnon from Bryson. Mayor Maurice Beauregard from Campbell's Bay. Mayor Donnie Gagnon from Chichester. Mayor John Armstrong from Clarendon. Mayor Debbie Laporte from Port Plunge, Mayor Serge Newberry from Grown-Calumet, Mayor Winston Sundstrom, Lille aux Alumettes, okay, so that's a no. Okay. In your, okay, Litchfield is declared conflict. I'm sorry to ask, yeah. Mayor Gilles Dion from Mansfield. 4. Mayor Pro Warden Cartier Villeneuve from Otter Lake. Mayor Jim Gibson from Portage. I'm so sorry. You know what? I'm looking at Portage, and so it should have been Marilyn Cameron. You don't mind, do you? Switching? Okay, Marilyn Cameron. Thank you. Mayor Jim Gibson Rapide. Mayor Sandra Murray Shawville.
Yes.
Mayor Doris Ranger Sheenborough. Mayor Karen Kelly Thorne. Mayor David Rochon Waltham. Okay. And so I'm not going to.
Yeah. The result is that we have 14 yes and 3 nay, and one of the mayors was unable to. So we have the double majority. Those 40 mayors represent more than 70%. Majority of the municipalities support. So it is done.
Thank you very much. (15.2) the Public Transit Development Plan Transfer Action Resolution. Bernard.
We need a resolution to support the filling of the document called Plan de Développement du Transport Collectif. It's a revised edition of this plan for 2021. And that resolution will allow yes, to continue to provide seniors and young families in need of the municipalities on the territory services for collective transport that are few or otherwise not available. So we need someone to propose.
Moved by Mayor Cameron. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 15.3, the signing authority for a deed of sale resolution. Bernard Watt.
A resolution to authorize each of the MRC, so myself, and the warden of the MRC, Jane Toller, to sign the final deed of sale prepared by a notary, André Trépanier, for 3 lots in l'île du Grand-Calumet. So the number of the lots are 3350926, 3350938, and 3351162. So resolution.
Moved by Mayor Murray. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 15.4, request for support inspections resolution. Bernard.
Well, I will read the resolution. So considering the importance of the inspection work undertaken by the MRC Acceleration Department, considering the adoption of resolution CM 2021-04-11, where the MRC had resolved to give a mandate to evaluation for the realization of 500 inspections beginning June 2021, the cost of each inspection being $80. considering the FQM evaluation is late in providing assistance requested with resolution CM 2021-4-11. It is proposed and resolved to reiterate the FQM evaluation, the request expressed in already mentioned, by dedicating resources to the MRC Pontiac for this.
Moved by Mayor Alain Gagnon. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Thank you. Number 16, we wanted to move a resolution for our former MP Will Amos, just to show our appreciation. And so basically this says, considering the recent announcement by Mr. William Amos, Member of Parliament for Pontiac, that he would not be seeking re-election in the next federal election, considering his achievements as MP for Pontiac. It was proposed by, I was thinking, Mayor Sundstrom. I'd like to propose a resolution about Will Amos. Okay, thank you. And resolved to transmit our sincere thanks to Mr. Amos for his years of service and dedication to the people of the Pontiac, especially in the areas of infrastructure, protection of the environment, and the need for better communication in rural areas. And I think we can all admit that he was a great champion about cellular service and internet. And, thanks to his efforts, we're going to be in a much better position. And if anyone else would like to just say a few words, Winston, you knew Will particularly well, which I'd like to give you a chance to say a few words, please. Thank you. Kind of spur of the moment, I know, but I actually heard your interview on Chip Radio and thought you did a great job, so go ahead.
Yes, well, I had a lot of contact with Will Amos. He was in the riding a lot. In terms of other MPs in other areas that I've been, I've never seen so present in the riding. Also so interested in what we were about. I think on my FM, I gave him credit for pushing the fiber optic internet, especially within our municipality of the net. But they go to the whole Pontiac. Was instrumental, pushed it hard, and successful. Right now, we are seeing Bell Telephone all throughout our municipality. They are actively at work getting that fiber optic cable set up. I also, in my interview, credited Will Amos with getting the support of the National Research Council for the biomass valorization project. I do hope that the National Research Council continues with their studies of the biomass valorization project, because up until this point, it looks quite viable.
Thank you very much, Mayor Sundstrom. And so moved by Mayor Sundstrom, and I'm sure we can record this as unanimous. All those in favor? And it's unanimous. And I'm sure we're going to continue to see Will Amos. He loved his time in the Pontiac, and we'll, I'm sure, hear great things. And by the way, what you mentioned about the request of the Research Council, I think that is something maybe we can't just quickly do it right now, but for our next meeting, perhaps you'd like to bring forward a resolution on that. Thank you. Okay, so we'll now go to number 17, economic development. And we have a resolution about investment committee recommendations, and in Cindy's absence, Bernard will move the resolution. I mean, not move it, but explain it.
The investment committee has the responsibility to analyze applications under the MRC Pontiac's politique de soutien aux entreprises, PSE, and to make recommendation. They held a meeting on this August 9th, and following that meeting, they are making that committee is making two recommendations to the council. So the first recommendation, number of resolution MRC-CI-8-1, to the investment committee comments that the regional council of MRC Pontiac adopted financing of an FLE loan of an amount of $85,444 and FLS loan of an amount of $56,963. This is the first recommendation. The second one, and the number of this resolution recommendation is MRC-CI-2021-01-02. So the investment committee recommends that the regional council adopt the proposed changes to the grant awarded. And for that, for those two recommendations, we need the resolution here at the council to adopt the recommendation and to approve the changes proposed in the second resolution.
Thanks, Bernard. Could I have a mayor move this, please? Moved by Mayor Doris Ranger. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Oh, yes, Morris. Oh, okay. Okay, so you're recorded in the negative? Yes, and you've raised that point before. Thank you very much. Oh, Mayor Sundstrom? Okay, well, we'll speak to our directors of economic development about that, because she does have guidelines with the investment committee, and so we need to make sure that it's all within the mandate. Right? Okay. Yes. Okay. I think we'll put this on plenary and have a good discussion about it with our directors of economic development, so that she can be privy to all of this. Thank you. So 17.2, we also have recommendations from donations and sponsors. Doesn't say, oh yes, here we go. Resolution 17.2.1, the Country Jamboree donations and sponsorships. Bernard Waugh.
Yeah, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the vaccination clinic currently taking place in the Campbellsbury Recreation Center building, the Isolation 2020 Country Jamboree event, which should have taken place in August 2021 by Mr. Cletus Ferrigan on behalf of Scott of Campbellsbury, will have to be postponed until the following summer. So the communication is to postpone also to keep the money available for next year that was supposed to be used this year, and keep that $1,800 for the event to be held in 2022. We need a resolution.
Okay, moved by Mayor Lynn Cameron. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. 17.2.2 for Municipality of Bryson, donations and sponsorships, a resolution. Bernard?
Yeah, a resolution. We need a resolution to make a donation of $500 to Bryson for their golf tournament being held as mentioned earlier in that council on September 11, 2021, which is a fundraising in order to support the enforcement price revitalization and the cost associated with their ongoing banner.
Moved by Mayor Carl Mayer. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. By the way, is the clipboard for Terry Fox circulating still? Excellent. Keeping it moving, John. 17.2.3, Far West, donations and sponsorships, resolution, Bernarwa.
Our recommendation is to grant a sponsorship of $500 to Far West for the advertising campaign for the Felix Gabriel Marchand Bridge, which will help Far West to increase the media presence for local Ontario tourism and participate into the Pontiac region for the inauguration of the permanent illumination of the bridge and their interactive system that will allow tourists to control the lights for a designated period of time.
Okay, thank you. Moved by Mayor Gilles Dion. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. 17.2.4, Pontiac Terry Fox, donations and sponsorships, resolution, Bernarwa.
A resolution, our recommendation is to grant $500 to Terry Fox Foundation for the Terry Fox Pontiac Marathon this year.
Okay, moved by Mayor Sandra Murray. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Recommendations for major events. The Shawville Fair, resolution, Bernarwa.
Yeah, the MRC received a letter on August 2nd from the Pontiac Agricultural Society requesting sponsorship for the 164th edition of Valley Most Family Friendly Fair to be held from September 2nd to September 6th, 2021. And for this, for large event, we didn't use our envelope since maybe 1 year. There's 20,000 yes available that we already budgeted, and the fair didn't receive any funding from the NYC Pontiac 2018, so more than 3 years ago. So our contribution this year, if you accept it, would support the effort to reopen in a pandemic situation. And our contribution will be an important investment, not only for the organization of the fair, but also for the local businesses that fully support it financially, but for some reason, and you understand that in this year, they are unable or in a difficult situation to contribute their usual amount due to recurring closures. So we recommend to exceptionally invest a higher amount this year as a gesture of solidarity and support for a major tourist attraction on our territory. So that represents $5,000 proposal for that.
And it's going to be Mayor Sandra Murray. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 17.4, recommendation for COVID-19 financial aid, resolution, Annie Vinecourt.
Has decided to invest $80 million to help MRCs in their efforts to provide their territories with digital and telecommunication infrastructures. And so our MRC has received $879,829. And tonight we have a 6th recommendation to expense some of that money. So continuing with upgrading our employees' IT equipment, computers, etc. We have an expense of $9,370.14 for replacing laptops, and also a software that we're purchasing to manage all the loans in the economic development department, which will be a great help to the staff.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Who'd like to move that? Moved by Mayor Sarah Newberry. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Now we go to regional infrastructure with Kim Lesage. And we've got under the waterway, 18.1.1, washrooms on the Ottawa River. Kim. And this was, this came as a request from some residents, so you can get the background.
Yep, so the MRC Pontiac, we received a request from the Old Fort William Cottagers Association that we would consider adding a washroom facility between Pembroke and the Wuzzo Rock Trail, given the imminent removal of the outhouse right now on Gibraltar Island by the MNRF. And I ask us to also consider replacing the washroom facilities at the beach of the Wuzzo Rock Trail. So considering that the MRC has recently awarded a contract to Sortir du Bois for the construction and installation of a new bathroom facility, so an outhouse, for the beach of the Wuzzo Rock Trail, including the removal of the existing outhouses that are and also considering that Gibraltar Island is located in the county of Renfrew, we are proposing that the MRC Pontiac requests that the work planned out at the beach of the Wuzzo Rock Trail be carried out before the end of August by Sortir du Bois. And we would also suggest to the OFWCA to request assistance from the county of Renfrew for a new washroom facility on Gibraltar Island or between Pembroke and the Wuzzo Rock Trail.
Good work. Who would like to move this? Moved by Mayor Donnie Gagnon, our waterway leader. Thank you. And do you have another item, Kim? I'm sorry, I just wasn't looking ahead.
Next is the paving.
Oh, the paving of the MRC parking lot. Yes, please go ahead.
So the MRC has planned in the 2021 budget to repair and repave the parking lot of the MRC offices located at 602 Route 301 North in Litchfield. Request for tender was sent out to 3 paving companies in the Outaouais region, and the lowest conform bid was prepared by Construction Jason Hines Inc. for the amount of $69,810 before taxes. So it would therefore be proposed that the Council of the MRC Pontiac authorizes myself and the DG Bernardois to award the contract for the paving of the MRC parking lot to Construction Jason Hines.
Okay, who would like to move this? Moved by Mayor Jim Gibson. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. And now the under the PPJ, the 2021 PPJ maintenance work, Kim Lesage, a resolution.
And I don't know how this was an error in the agenda, so that is actually a point that was already, we have a resolution in June for that point.
I thought we did.
Yes. So
okay, so this
is
just a repeat.
Do we just take it off?
Travis says his bad. Okay, perfect. 18.3.2, then we'll go on to maintenance of the PPJ Regional Park. Can we also approve that? No.
We received a letter from the Municipal Council of Waltham on July 30th concerning upkeep and regular maintenance of the PPJ Regional Park, so cutting grass and trimming. And now considering that the regional tourist importance of the PPJ cycle path, it would be proposed that we adopt a maintenance plan for the trail maintenance workers for 2022 and for future years to ensure the beauty of the regional park. And also that the maintenance plan be presented to the Council of Mayors for approval.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions? Would someone like to move this? Moved by Mayor David Rochelle. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. And 18.3.3, Cycling Park PPJ Access Autumn Tours, a resolution in Lesage.
Autumn Tours is in French called Les Virées Automnales. It's a promotional campaign organized by Loisirs Sport Outaouais, Tourism Outaouais, and the Table Agroalimentaire de l'Outaouais, which aims to promote quality outdoor activities and agri-food places in the region. The tours will take place in the Outaouais on the weekends of September 25th, 26th, October 2nd and 3rd, and 9th and 10th. On the weekend of October 9th and 10th, the public will be invited to visit the Pontiac. So the Cyclopac PPG has been identified as one of the places to promote by the autumn tours. Timos dans la Brousse will animate a workshop demonstration of different types of bicycles, allowing parents to transport their children safely, and initiation to the balance bikes for 0 to 5-year-olds as part of this fall tours, Virée Automnale. This will be Sunday, October 10th from 9:30 till noon on the Cyclopac PPJ at the entrance of the trail near the Shovel Agricultural Service Center. In addition, for the day of Saturday and Sunday, the Cyclopac PPG will be identified by the Fall Tours Circuit as an outdoor place of choice to discover. So we are looking for a resolution to permit the activity on the Cyclopac PPG.
Okay, thank you. Would someone like to move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Morris Beauregard. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Thank you, Kim. Great job. We go on to our management of territory, Jason Durand. Jason, for 19.1, the appointment of a member for the Multi-Resource Committee resolution.
Yes, good evening, everybody again. In other words, this is a resolution actually to designate Mr. Robin Leggett of Forespect as the person authorized to sit on the Multi-Resource Advisory Committee as the wood processing industry. So as you know, this seat was vacant for a couple of years, so I think it's industry as well to sit on this Multi-Resource Committee. Oui, Gilles. Il n'est pas du Pontiac, mais ça demeure qu'il y a des opérations en forêt publique pontoise, des garanties sur le territoire du Pontiac. Ils ont eu un moment donné un site aussi là, dans Litchfield, dans le fond, stocker du bois, tout ça. Après ça, ils ont acheté beaucoup de bois aussi, souvent dans des marchés qui n'étaient pas tout le temps faciles, des essences qui n'étaient pas toujours faciles à liquider. Donc tout ça. Puis ça fait quand même plusieurs années aussi là, que j'ai aussi fait de la foresterie aussi. Donc c'est quand même un joueur quand même assez.
Any other questions? Stereo. Okay, if there are no other questions, then would you like to move the resolution, Mayor Dion? No? Okay. Who would like to move the resolution then for the new member on the multi-resource? Moved by Mayor Morris Beauregard. Thank you. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 19.2, we need a resolution, and this comes from the CPO. It's an intermunicipal agreement for the implementation of the regional feasibility study for ultimate waste in the Outaouais. Remember, we had the presentation at our plenary and by Mr. Turpin, and so our contribution is $3,300. So I need a resolution for this. Moved by Mayor David Rochon. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 19.3, the strategic forestry agreement with Nova Silva, the firm, for resolution. Jason Durand.
Yes, so considering the importance of forestry for the Pontiac, considering the relevance of having a strategic forestry plan to ensure the development of forestry, considering the presentation of the company Nova Silva at the last plenary, it would be resolved to grant Nova Silva the mandate to create a strategic forestry plan for the MRC plan. So asking resolution, actually. Go ahead.
Okay, question, Mayor Sundstrom.
Well,
I think the purpose of having them at the plenary was to find out about their backgrounds, and they've very extensive, worked all over Canada, but there isn't a rush, Jason, so we could put it back on
not at all.
plenary.
I think it's actually, it's a good idea as well.
Good.
We'll-
All right,
we
perfect.
we talked about it anyway at the plenary.
Yeah.
This offer, the service offer.
Okay,
They would, like you said it with more detail with more information, so.
all right, so we'll just defer this to our plenary meeting and get more information. Thank you. And Jason, if you could please follow up with Nova Silva and make sure they send us the
Sure, no problem.
documents. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody.
Okay, good evening. Great job. Thank you so much. All right, now we're going to 20.1 under miscellaneous. This is the Bill 96 and bilingual status are the resolution, and also the launch of a petition. And I met with Andre Fortin this week to get the wording. And so basically it says, considering the adoption of resolution CM 2021-0614 by the Council of Mayors of the MRC Pontiac, and attached here to fourth and integral part hereof, it was resolved to ask the government of Quebec to remove from Bill 96 all articles that could have a negative impact on English-speaking citizens and bilingual communities, ensure that students can study in the language of their choice in the course of their post-secondary education, and ensure that the provisions of Bill 96 do not cause an administration burden on small businesses, and to ensure a 50% English-French employee ratio when hiring. It was also resolved that this petition in support of this request be circulated to the population of the Pontiac by presentation in Quebec City by Mr. Andre Fortin, MNA for Pontiac. So this is who will end up with the petition, and we will be sending by email a copy of this with, there will be lines underneath for people to sign with their name and address. I've already had people, residents of the Pontiac, saying, where can we sign? And this is one way to have people feel involved. And I think that a petition with hopefully a few thousand signatures will make an impression on the Premier and his government. And also, I'm not sure that many other regions would do a petition. So could I have someone move this resolution? Thank you. Moved by Mayor Murray. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. And we will send out a copy of it to each DG and mayor, and hope that you can make copies of it in your own offices. Thank you. We go now to 20.2, the dissuasive measures against intimidation and defamation on social networks. So we have a resolution, as we discussed at plenary, especially with COVID-19 and Zoom meetings and, less contact face-to-face. There has been quite too much bullying, harassing, aggressive behavior to elected people, especially women, but also men, and even examples where children of elected people have been threatened. So I'm sure that we would all support this unanimously, and something that FQM is doing, and I think they're doing it across Canada with FCM. Could I have someone move this, please? Moved by Mayor Debbie Laporte. Could we record it as unanimous? All those in favor? Anyone against? And it, yes.
Did you see FQM?
Jacques Demers' name was on the bottom. Yes.
Ask them first a file of
Yes.
disciplinary.
Exact.
We saw the example with the health
Exact.
department. Yeah, no.
Mhm.
Arrest for taking pets. I think
Exactly.
The government, but I think the FQM can work together. to
Yeah.
Come up with something.
And we'll send it to FCM as well. Excellent. Thanks so much, Elaine. Good point. Okay. Now we go to 20.3, and this is Mayor Sundstrom's item, the Conférence des Préfets de l'Outaouais, the CPO, for information. Go ahead.
Just before this, I did ask to speak about assessment.
Oh.
So if you don't mind, I'll speak about assessment first. We've gotten a report from the FQM for our municipality, which shows us as having 502 inspections that need to be done. We have multiple property transfers that need to be done, and have permits that need to be processed. Probably over 700 files there. And we've been behind year after year after year. So what I'm going to propose, what our municipality will propose, is to send an offer of service to the MRC that our municipality would offer to do the data collection for the MRC and send it here and bill the MRC for that service. Because right now we are paying $130,000 a year for assessment services from the MRC, and we are receiving quite a bit of that service, but we're not receiving all of the service. So if you add that up over 4 years, that's over $500,000, and so you can expect that offer coming to council. Secondly, I understand at the plenary, we were going to have the FQM come to our plenary in September. That's confirmed. Okay, then I'll go on to 20.3. I want to raise the issue of transparency at the CPO, the Conférence des Préfets de l'Outaouais. Previously, there was a CREO, and that was a regional government. The CREO had public meeting, open to the public and the press. The government of Quebec disbanded the CREO, so they eliminated that level of government. When that happened, there was an ad hoc committee of the 4 wardens and the mayor of Gatineau that met unofficially to discuss regional issues. Now the government of Quebec has reinstated by legislation the Conférence des Préfets de l'Outaouais and given it certain competency in certain areas. So because the MRC funds the CPO, I think to the tune of about $34,000 this year, and that money comes from our shares. The CPO now meets in private, but it's a level of government that makes decisions that affect our citizens. So as a level of government, there should be public meetings of the CPO. That would be the democratic way of providing information to the public. So as a matter of principle and in the public interest, I am raising the issue and asking the CPO to start to have their meetings in public.
I spoke to our coordinator, Martin Chouinez, and first of all, I just want to say that just as we did tonight, we moved a resolution for $3,300 so that we can be part of the ultimate waste solution for the whole Outaouais. And if we didn't participate in that, it would be a big mistake, I think, because it would certainly pull Pontiac back. And we're also playing a very active role in that. But so in terms of budget, anything that is spent on behalf of your shares and the Pontiac MRC, it's moved first by a resolution at our council meeting, and then it goes. I don't ever just vote on money without first having a resolution from you. We don't have our own budget. The money comes from provincially, some grant money, but also this year, we've started something new where we are actually, we've organized an assembly, and the money has come from the FRR. But the purpose of this is just so that we can find issues that we can work together on. It's everything from tourism, territorial marketing, economic development, forestry, agriculture, waste management. We have something called Dossier Outaouais, which is focused. It's really the Mayor of Gatineau that originated it, but we're all in agreement that we all need a focus on better educational facilities in the Outaouais and healthcare. So I have taken Mayor Sundstrom's request to the CPO, and the way it will work is any person who is interested in attending a meeting, we can probably make that possible virtually. It's a small room we meet in usually. I will suggest having public meetings. I think that's worth looking into. But there is something else. It's kind of like the CREO that's being set up. And Bernard could probably describe it even better than I can. It's going to be basically a committee that has people from all the various organizations and sectors so that we will be privy to input and information on a regular basis from them. So it won't just be 4 wardens and a mayor of Gatineau making decisions, but also we also have staff there. We have our director generals and often our economic development directors. So I've never been concerned about a lack of transparency, but as soon as somebody asks for that, the only answer is, of course, let's open the doors. And so I'll report back at plenary what we're going to be able to do so that you can participate more at the CPO. And in the meantime, one other thing that I haven't been doing, I've been giving highlights, but from now on, I'm going to send out to you the minutes, all the mayors, the minutes from our CPO meeting. You'll see there's not a lot of detail, but you know, it's pretty much like our minutes. It tells you what was discussed, what we carried, what got approved, that kind of thing. Yes, Mayor Sundstrom? I'll ask. The press are invited from time to time, well, for news conferences, of course, but not sure what the benefit would be for our planning meetings. I think there is a lot to be said at times for strategic planning sessions. We only meet not even once a month, so you know we need that time to be able to share information and work together, but I wouldn't call it confidential information. And I think we have one more item. It's 20.4. Oh, the MRC Waste Management Committee. I'd like to congratulate and thank all the mayors who are here tonight. We have 18 members of this committee. Our first meeting is going to be on August 30th, and the next meeting will be September 27th. This is a big help to Thierry Rambo and Carrie Richardson, and I'll be participating in this as well because it has been very difficult, and actually I would say we will be able to better coordinate our plans for recycling, composting, and in particular construction waste. So thank you very much. Is there anything else anyone would like to add to the meeting before we bring it to a close? Okay, could I have is your hand up to move the resolution to close? Okay, there'd be a fight for that. Mayor Donny Gagnon, all those in favor? Opposed, and thank you very much for it's carried, and thank you for your time tonight. Good night.